Hi, and a very warm welcome to plot 98. Well, I don't think I need to tell you that it's been a peculiar year, hasn't it, from the start. And one of the things we've really missed out on is coming up here for picnics. And I'm sat right where we used to have the picnic table last year, and we used to come up for a couple of hours, sandwiches, cup of tea, bag of crisps. It was great. Unfortunately, this year we've not been able to do it yet. We might be able to before the end of season's out. So I'm going to try and do a little video for you each week, just keep you updated on what things are going on up here and how the plants are growing. But before we go around the allotment, I just want to tell you the top 3 vegetables. If I could only grow 3 vegetables, which I would grow. But before I do that, I want you to think, which ones would you grow? And when you see me next, you let me know and we'll compare notes. But I'll go and take you to my first number 1 vegetable. So this is my number 1. If I had a choice of just 3 vegetables to grow, onions would be the first choice. These down here we planted last autumn. They're a Japanese variety, and we got very nervous through that dry period because they weren't looking good at all, and we sort of panicked and bought some more onion sets and planted them, and they have just gone amazingly good. Look at those. There's 500 sets in there. We're going to be swimming with onions. And just take you right over to have a look at them. Look. These got a couple of 3 weeks yet to go, whereas those other Japanese ones that we planted in the autumn, they're ready to come out and start drying them now. But I just can't imagine cooking anything without onions, so that's why we desperately grow onions each year. My second crop is just a couple of feet away, a few feet away, and that's tomatoes. And there they are. Now I've got 4 rows there. This should have been Crimson Crush, this should have been Mountain Magic, and this should have been Honeymoon, and these should have been Red Alert. Now I say should have been because when I planted them up earlier this year and they were growing on in my greenhouse, my labelling system looked quite logical until middle of May when I brought them up here to plant out. There was an element of doubt in my mind as to whether I got it right, and I was right. I had got it wrong, if that makes sense. So I've got a bit of a mix there, but hey, they're tomatoes. They might be different sizes, but one of the chores I have to do with tomatoes at this time of year is tie them up. So I do check them through every week, and it's like this fella here is leaning over, so I'm going to tie that up like I've done the one next to him. A little bit of string there, I don't know if you can see it. But yeah, keep it going straight. And the other task is removing these little fellas, these side shoots. They look very innocent, but they grow very vigorously, and they just want snapping off like that, because they'll just draw all the energy out of the plant. And there's another one here, that's a bigger one. Where's it gone? I can't see. Here we go. Look at that one. And these always grow at the junction of the leaf and the main stem going up there. So again, snap that off, chuck it in a bucket, and then I'll tie this one up to the cane. Also, what I like to do now while there's tomatoes forming is just start taking some of the lower leaves off. The plant doesn't need them, And again, it's like this one here. We'll just take that lower leaf off. Won't take too many off because obviously the plant's still sort of photosynthesizing with them. But again, we want the plant to put energy into the tomato and not growth on foliage. We've got a whopping great tomato here. It's already beginning to look yellowy, so that's it'll soon be ripening in a couple of 3 weeks. We'll get some good sunshine. And the reason to grow tomatoes is I find them very, very versatile. Although the season for eating them fresh is short, which is about 4 or 5 months. I make chutney out of them. I dry them to make tomato powder for adding to soups. Make passata. I make ketchup. Just loads of things for cooking. And even tomato crisps. I slice them and dry them very thinly. Make a very nice snack. So yeah, that's my number 2. The third one is just over here. And that is the good old humble potato. Yeah, we've got a few weeds in there, but I ain't bothered because I'm going to be digging some of these out soon. Now, these got hammered by the frost middle of May, and all the tops died off, so they got set back a couple of 3 weeks. But I'm quite confident that there's a good crop of potatoes under there, and we'll dig some up soon and see. So what have I got here? I've got first earlies in the front, 3 rows of those, and that variety is called Rocket. And the next 2 rows is second early Charlotte, and the last 2 rows that have still got flower on them at the back, and there's a sneaky little sunflower crept in there. A Desiree, which I find absolutely fantastic potato, drought resilient, so you know, in dry spells it continues to grow quite well. So that's my number 3. So onions, tomatoes and potatoes. So what's your 3 vegetables? I shall be asking questions. Okay, well I look forward to seeing you next time. But before we go, just have a sneaky peek at my lavender hedge, which I planted last year. And I think it shows I'm getting old because I'm interested in flowers now. But those are the rich ones, Hidcote, and the other one's an English lavender. But all those were planted, small plants last year, and look at them, beautiful. So I'm doing a lavender hedge along the roadside of my allotment. I just need a few more for this gap to fill up to here, just along there. I shall get some more. Okie doke, well, I shall look forward to seeing you back at the camp. Take care, bye for now.